Hello, this is El Condor, and thank you for joining me to go through this character sheet for DC20 version Beta 0.8. This is an update, and those of you who've used this before will see that it's changed quite significantly. Well, at least in part, it's changed quite a lot. And firstly, before I go on, I'd like to thank the commenters on YouTube that have made suggestions on how to improve this. And if you have any suggestions, or if you have come across any problems, please don't hesitate to put in a comment so that those things can be addressed and hopefully fixed. So there's a lot going on in this spreadsheet, and there's a lot going on, of course, in DC20. So trying to put it all into calculations has been quite a challenge, and I hope it comes off for what it's meant to be, an assistant for creating characters. So let's go through an overview of the changes that have taken place. So firstly, the layout obviously has changed a bit. Now you'll see that it's quite similar, at least on this page, to what the last version was. We've got another section down here, which is all about the spell class users, the spell classes, and the cantrips and spells and so forth for them, with a whole heap of different options. All of it is linked, so you will see these red these red cells will pop up whenever attention needs to be given to something that hasn't been done quite right. So what I'm going to do in this video, and you can use the time links that will be in the description underneath, I'll be going through a number of the different characters and the classes and the ancestries to see how it all links in and works, hopefully fairly seamlessly. That's the goal anyway. Alright, so the new things we've got the special classes, the layout, like I said. We've got the effects of ancestries will affect the sheet. If they do, obviously if they're things like condition effects that only take place in gameplay, then they'll just be a description of them. But if it's something like increases your mana points, then your mana points up here will be increased automatically if you take those as well. Heavy and brutal hits have been put in here against the physical defense and mental defense. There's also in the armor section here, the armor modifications are available. So according to the armor that is chosen, the modification can be made once it's been bought, if that's the case. APs have been included simply because if the armor is not something that you've got combat mastery in, it will reduce your available AP by 2. So that's just there to remind you. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to go ahead and start using it yourself, then feel free to leave right now. But what I'll be doing for the rest of this video is going through those classes and ancestries, like I said. Use the timestamps to go into each one of those. And if you are leaving, thank you very much for watching, and I hope the sheet is of use to you. Alright, so the first character that we'll go through is an Angelborn Barbarian. I don't know if that's incongruous or not, but anyway, I'm going to go with that to show off the way that these attributes and so forth all link in the sheet. Okay, so I've used the start here sheet and I've just put in the information. I've chosen might of 3, agility of 0, intelligence modified up to 0, charisma of 1, and I'm going to keep that for all of the characters. It might not be optimal, but for the purposes of showing what's in this spreadsheet, that's fine. Alright, so Barbarian, I'm just going to use Might and Agility as the save masteries that I've got. They disappeared, and I'm going to go straight into the ancestries here. Right, so Angelborn, down here it will give the option of Fallen. Now, if that was Fiendborn, as we'll see a bit later on, it will give the option of Redeemed. So what happens is, and I don't know why anyone wouldn't take this option, because it immediately, for no cost, gives you access to all of the Fiendborn features as well as the Angelborn ones. So I don't know if that's going to change in the future, but for now, I think take it. So Fiendborn ancestry traits are now available. So we've got 5, and I'm going to go with some of the ones that I know will make a difference on the sheet. So Celestial Magic can learn one Divine List spell. All right, so if we go down here, we will see that Celestial Magic is now red, and the list of Divine spells is there. So I'm going to take Guiding Bolt. All right, so there's the information there for Guiding Bolt. Come back up here, and I will take another one that I know is going to cause an increase. So let's have a look. My mana at the moment is 0, and I will take Mana Increase. My mana goes up to 1 straight away. Next one here, and what have we got? Other ones that make a difference. So I know I'm looking for Fiendish Aura. That gives you the Sorcery Cantrip. So we go down here, and the Sorcery Cantrip has been put in there, ready to go. And the other one is Fiendish Magic. So we'll put Fiendish Magic in. That costs 2. So I'm now up to 6 points of Ancestry features, which is more than the 5 that I'm allowed. So I don't really need the mana points here. So I will get rid of that. And now my Ancestry features are right. Now back to Fiendish Magic here. Learn one destruction or enchantment spell. So we go down here, we've got Fiendish Magic, and that gives the current list of destruction and whatever that other one was, spells. So I will go with Guiding Bolt, put that in. Oh, I've already got Guiding Bolt. Let's go with a different one. Psychic Magic Missile, the old classic Magic Missile. Alright, so that's a Barbarian with 3 spells. Awesome. Comes from him being Angelborn with a fallen demeanor, so you know, leaning into that Fiendborn stuff as well. Alright, so 5 skills here. I will up Novice to Awareness, Athletics, Intimidation, let's see, Investigation, and Survival. Okay, my 5 is now done. Maneuvers is important for all the martial characters, martial classes. So when we drop it down, we've got all the maneuvers there. Now, martials are free for attack maneuvers, so you still have to put them in though. So I'll just put all of those in, and you'll see that they're not actually costing anything. And now I can start using the 4 points that I've got for the other ones. Whatever it is that I choose to take, I'll just randomly click on stuff. Alright, so there are all my maneuvers that I'll take there. I've got 3 trades, and I'll go with blacksmithing and glass blowing, because what barbarian doesn't love blowing glass? And a masonry, and my languages, I will go fluent in Orcish, because, you know, I like talking to the orcs. They're very demonstrative with their language use. Alright, so that means that this character is now basically ready to go. So I'll go down here and look at this second page here, just to make sure that there are no big red cells that need to have something put in them, and there are not. Okay, so that's the Barbarian over and done with for now. Okay, next up we have a Dragonborn Bard. Now I've already chosen the actual ancestry features for the Dragonborn, and I just want to pick up 2 of them. Firstly, the mana increase and the thick-skinned features that are available to Dragonborn. Alright, now mana increase increases the mana, so when I get rid of it, we should see, pretty logical really, the naming here, take that out and the mana points drop down to 6. Alright, so we'll put it back in again. Thick-skinned increases our PD, our physical defense, so that 13 should go down to 12 when I get rid of it, as it does there. And I'll put it back in again, if I can find it. Thick-skinned. Alright, so they're the ancestry features. Now I'm not going to worry about putting in the skills for this character, because we know that that's going to work. I've already got trades here. I'm going to leave that the way that it is as well. The features, of course, are here. No maneuvers, no talents, no techniques, and we would pick a weapon. So I don't know, let's see, what would we go with? A great pick? Sure, why not? Two-handed, impact. No worries, and we can have more than that. But down here you'll see that there's a bit of red going on, so the cantrips need to be picked up. There's 2 of those, and I'll just choose Close Wounds and Message, because, and 3 spells. So we'll go with Fog Cloud, Find Familiar, always a fun one, and Sleep, a classic. Alright, so that's all we need to do for the Bard. The Bard is now complete and can be, well, once the skills are done, and can be printed off. Okay. Next up we have a Dwarf Cleric. Once again, I've chosen the Ancestry features, and 2 of them have effects on the actual spreadsheet itself. So 3 of them, sorry. Tough gives +1 hit point maximum. So the hit points over there are 11. If I got rid of it, it goes down to 10. So that's affecting things as it should. Trade expertise, it increases the trade cap and the level in 1 trade. Now that's a bit difficult to do with the spreadsheet, so what it actually does is give 2 points or 2 trades, so 1 of those can be increased. So let's just get rid of that, and you can see it goes down to 3. We'll put it back in again. It goes up to 5. Now I can increase 1 of these up to Adept now, and I would have 1 more trade. Okay, so that's all that needs to be done for that part of the sheet. Let's give this cleric a different weapon, and we'll go with a... what's a good one? Oh my goodness. There's so many to choose from. I wanted to get a mace, but there's no mace. What have we got, a Morning Star or something? There we go, Morning Star. Alright, so that's weapon, multifaceted, 2-handed, +2 to hit. That's if you're using it 2-handed, of course. And if we go down here, we see that there's 2 cantrips to pick. And you'll see that these are particular to the actual class itself, so only cleric spells. Of course, these are going to be added to with, I think it's version 0.10, where the spell updates are going to take place. Alright, that's all that needs to be done to do a cleric. So the next character we're doing is an elf commander, and I have picked the 2 ancestry features that I wanted to show. The other ones will just add to it, add to the total. Speed increase gives you +1 space. So you'll see that over here, looking at the speed, the move speed is 6 because it's normally 5. With speed increase, it gets increased. Frail, your hit point maximum decreases by 2. So if we just get rid of that, you'll see the hit points should be 11, but to get an ancestry feature point, I will take that hit. There's no way that I would do that if I was actually playing a commander. I want as many hit points as I can possibly get, but just to show what's going on in the spreadsheet. Now the other thing that I wanted to do with the martial characters, these maneuvers here, they get 4 points worth, but they also get these for free. The attack ones are all free. They need to be added in. They don't automatically pop up, but once they're in, then you can add the other 4 in. And I'm just picking random ones here, and you can see that's how you do the maneuvers for a martial. Let's add another weapon, and we will add a something meaty. Great axe. Where did I see it? There it is. Put in the great axe there. And looking down here, we have That's from the last character that I did, so let's just get rid of those. And now we don't have anything more that we need to do with the commander. I would, of course, put the rest of the ancestry features in normally, but I'm not going to for this. Okay, let's go to the next one. A Giantborn Fighter is next. They're fairly straightforward, the fighters of course. So the ancestry features that I've chosen, tough, gives you hit point maximum +1, so that's up to 12 from 11. But this one here, clumsiness, disadvantage on agility checks, and over here we see disadvantage being included in the description of agility. So that's just to remind the player that any agility checks are with disadvantage because this giant, he's a little bit clumsy. The other thing is that fighters get techniques. They get one technique at level 1, so we can pick that up. These have no bearing on the spreadsheet themselves, and the page numbers just indicate where in the PDF document you go to actually find out about them. Looking at the next page, nothing to do for the fighter. Finished. Right, so next is the Gnome Monk, and I've got visions of Yoda bouncing around the walls, fighting Count Dooku, and this guy, little gnome, bouncing around like that. I can imagine it. So anyway, with the sheet itself, the ancestry features that I've chosen, strong-minded, MD increases by 1, so the MD up here, it would normally be 12, is now 13. Mana increase has gone up by 1 from 0, and agility attribute decrease. Now, whenever it says manual in the description, it means that nothing automatic happens on the sheet, but if you want to decrease agility by 1, very easy to do, just go and change it on the sheet itself. Once the first page, the Start Here page, is done, everything gets transferred into the character sheet here, but from here you don't have to go back to the start sheet to change things, just change them here. It's much easier. So if I wanted to change this from a monk to something else, then I can do it there. I don't want to, but I could. Right, now with monks, a couple of things. Firstly, the maneuvers are already done. They're a martial character, and I've chosen unarmed strike as one of his weapons, and it does +1 bludgeoning damage. It's a melee attack with the impact property, and +1 versus grappled. Okay, so that's there. The other thing is the monk stances, of course. Now you can choose 2 from first up. First level, I should say. So we'll choose, which one will we go for? We'll go for Mantis Stance. There's the description of Mantis Stance, and the other one, the Turtle Stance, and puts in the description there. Now the other things with monks are all included in the sheet itself. So when they're unarmored, the advantages for their armor types is already included, so all of that stuff should be there auto-magically. If we go down the if we go down the sheet, there's nothing else to do for the monk. Done. Next, and I haven't put any of the ancestry features in. We don't need to do that right now. They're very easy to plonk in. I've left the weapons from before, and all of the other details. The things that I want to point out, a couple of things. You'll see over here the description that of the masteries that a ranger has got. Weapons, light armor, light shields. Alright, so when you click on the armor here, you'll see that heavy is no combat mastery, and its AP drops by 2. So if I chose that, the AP goes to 2, and I'll make it novice armor, and combat mastery is not included, but I still get the actual physical damage reduction in there, but I've also a lot slower. So with the ranger, I'm going to go with the light armor, the best thing that I can do at this stage, and nothing else on the sheet to do. Ranger is done. A human rogue is fairly straightforward to do, with the martial maneuvers already put in. The weapons stay the same. I'm leaving trades the way they are. They get more skills, of course, so those skills need to be done. Now, because I've chosen resilience here, which gives one attribute save mastery, the red boxes or red cells for the save masteries are on. They'll disappear when I choose another one. There's 2, make it 3, and now that's done. Okay, so I would be able to put in the skills for the rogue. There's nothing down here that needs to be done. Rogue done. Alright, next up we have an Orc Sorcerer. Just a couple of things to point out with this one. The Reckless ancestry feature, you get 1 extra point back, but you lose the PD, your physical defense, decreases by 1. So it's on 10 now with that feature on. So I'll get rid of it and it goes up to 11. Okay, so that's included. With the Sorcerer being a spellcaster, if we go down the page, we can see that they've got some spells and cantrips. Again, they are particular to that particular class. And we can take a couple of those. Lightning Bolt is a cantrip these days. I like that, but I don't know if that's going to change. Misty Step, Fire Shield, and yeah, got to get it. Got to get me a familiar. Alright, so that's all done now, and we check back up. Of course, I would do the ancestry features normally. That's it. Sorcerer done. Next we come to the Spellblade, and this one's going to be Fiendborn. I'm not going to go with Redeemed. He's just going to be a straight out Fiend. I've chosen Fiendish Magic, Mana Increase, and Fiendish Aura because they're things that change the spreadsheet. And you can see that the mana points have gone up. And if we look down the sheet, we've got Spellblade stuff, which I'll come back to in a moment, and a couple of extra things here that have come out of those ancestry features. So, firstly, the maneuvers. Spellblades get 2, but they also get the attack maneuvers for free, so we'll put those in and take well, Restrain is worth 2 by itself, so let's not take any more. Going down the sheet, this is where the Spellblade becomes a little bit interesting because we need to pick the extra spell school for the Spellblade, and we will go with, let's see, Conjuration. No, he's a Fiend, so we'll go with Enchantment. Now the disciplines, 2 of the disciplines can be taken. The ones that change the sheet are these 2 here, Magus and Warrior. So I'll choose Warrior. There's the description of what it does here. And I will also take Spell Warder, and there's what it does there. I could take Magus and that will affect different things on the sheet, but they're the 2 that I've chosen for the Spellblade. Now the cantrips. 1 cantrip, and those spells will be from the 3 schools that the Spellblade has got. Looking up here, the schools are Destruction, Protection, and with the one other, it's Enchantment. So the spells will be from those 3 different schools. Only get 1. And down the bottom we have Sorcery from the Ancestry feature and Fiendish Magic, and I'll choose to take the command spell for that. Alright, Spellblade looks like it's pretty much done. That'll do. Spellblade done. Not so fast, El Condoro. You'll see that the maneuvers have gone up to 4. And the reason that they've gone up to 4 is because I chose Warrior as the discipline, and Warrior you learn 2 maneuvers, so that means that I can go back up here and choose those 2 maneuvers. And we are now done. Now the Spellblade is done. Okay, let's go with the human Warlock. Now I'm not going to do anything with the ancestry features or any of the things that are on this page just yet, because the Warlock has got stuff going on all over this spreadsheet. So we need to go down here first. First thing we need to do, perhaps, is to choose the schools that the Warlock Magic Schools has. That's really bad grammar, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. We will take these ones here, divination, illusion, I don't know why, just because, and protection. All right, so they're the schools to choose the cantrips and spells for. We won't do the packed cantrip yet because we've got to decide what the packed boon's going to be. One of them, weapon, where you get a packed weapon, armor, packed armor of course, packed cantrip, packed familiar. Alright, so we'll go through each of those. Let's go with packed weapon first. This tells you all of the things that you get with it. Weapon mastery, maneuvers, learn 2 additional save maneuvers, weapon style, and the pocket dimension thing. So if we scroll back up here, we'll see this packed thing has popped up. So we choose from the weapons that we've got here already. So they're the 4 weapons that we've got. I'm going to go, my great axe is the one that I'm going to bond with and make my packed weapon. Up here I get all attack and 2 save maneuvers, so let's do that. And the 2 save ones, you'll see that they're right. So that is for the weapon pact. Right. Let's just clear out that stuff again. Take away that, and we'll go back down and we'll change it to an armor pact. This one, you get armor mastery, your maneuvers, you gain access to all defense maneuvers, your mystical armor, you gain +1 MD and MDR. Right, so let's go up here. We've got Warlock defense, all defense. So these are all the defense ones. We'll put those in. Unfortunately, they don't just pop up by themselves. Okay, they're done. And because you can change the armor basically freely, because you're not going to be changing your armor or a suit of armor in the middle of a battle, generally speaking, there's really no need. You're effectively a master of all the armor when you've got armor packed boon. All right, so that's that. Now we'll clear that out again because you can only choose one. So I'm just going through all of them to show you what they do. Cantrip. So once you have picked that one of your cantrips becomes your packed cantrip. So we need to pick the cantrips that we know first from the spells that we've chosen. They're the 2 that we can have. So one of those now becomes my packed cantrip. If it deals damage, it deals an extra 1 damage to bloodied targets. If it was a touch spell, it now becomes 3 spaces. And if otherwise, it increases by 5 spaces. So that's pretty cool. All I need to do then is pick the spells that I've got. Now I pick schools that don't have a lot of the spells, so that's why it's like that. All right, now the last thing, cantrip. We'll get rid of that and get rid of that one down there. What about a familiar? Well, if you do that, you get Find Familiar, which is now down here automatically, and you also get 3 additional familiar traits for your familiar. So you can see that the Warlock has got a lot going on, and it's a lot of fun putting it together. So we'll take that out, put in the weapon, and I will put in my Morning Star this time as my packed weapon, get my 2 maneuvers, blah blah blah, it's done. Alright, Warlock done. And the final class we're going to look at is the Wizard. Human again, so nothing to do with the ancestry traits at this stage. Scrolling down, you'll see that the only thing that we need to do is pick the spells and the cantrips for this particular class. So 2 cantrips and 3 spells. Alright, that's pretty quick, wasn't it? So, checking all the other things that are on the sheet, of course. You want to make sure that it's all correct, and that is it for creating characters. I hope the spreadsheet has helped you with creating your own characters. You'll notice that the The Beastborn has not been done. I haven't finished doing them, and that's got lots and lots of stuff to put in it. And the Scion is not there either. That will be a patrons only character class. All right. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. Catch you around.